All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode here on the Lure Lab, episode number 71. And as always, I am your host, the captain, Andrew Full. And this podcast is a part of the Serious Angler Network. And I want to say welcome to episode 71. It's going to be a good one. I think personally, I'm going to dive into some hard baits for the year of 2024 that are new to me. I have not thrown them yet. And I'm going to dive into what these baits are. There's three of them with a fourth honorable mention because I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. So that's why I want to include it in here. But yeah, so no particular order and importance of which way I want to throw them or not. But I kind of want to just dive into them because there's a couple really cool ones in here. And I think some of the viewers here might be intrigued by. So let's kind of dive into it, right? So the first one is one that I've been wanting to throw for quite some time, and it is a bait by Nishini Lure Works. And if you're on YouTube, well, if you're on MP3 right now, this might be a chance for you to head over to the YouTube page, search Lure Lab, and I'm going to hold up the baits and kind of talk about why I think they're going to be good. So, but Nishini Lure Works Simcoe 75 heavyweight. Now this bait is cool. It's just under one ounce. It's 0.85 ounces. So was that like just under 9/10 of an ounce? So it's a little bit of an odd weight. It's just under 3 inches. This one's color is matte hot tiger, and its sink rate though is 3.5 feet per second. So that's fallen pretty quick. So I mean, it's going to get down 30 feet in roughly 10 seconds, which is a really fast rate of fall, in my opinion. But we're going to look these baits over here and see why. And the first thing I noticed is that they come with super sharp hooks. This thing is dense. It's one of the heaviest traps. I don't think this is something that you want to be ripping out of grass in like 3 to 10 foot of water. I'm actually going to be using this bait to catch smallmouth on, I think, out on Erie, maybe Ontario on my side where the season is open. It's got two different swivel spots. So the center one where it is hooked up now, that's probably going to keep the bait relatively um oh, it says actually right here on the back. The forward position is so the front ring here is good at fast speed and has less water resistance, darting action by jerk and fall. With the back position, it's good at a slower speed and generates max vibration and will snag less. So if you're yo-yoing, I'm assuming you're going to want to put it on this front one. If you're kind of just slow rolling it, getting it across the bottom, just dinging it off everything, you want to be in that back position. I've been looking for an alternative to fish 25 to 40 foot of water. And on Lake Erie in the spring and fall, and sometimes even on summer, we get these big roamers that will just get out on flats and chase bait. And I think this is something I'm going to be able to throw with a bait caster in like 12 to 15 pound tests and really put some damage on some smallmouth. There's a bunch of really cool colors that this bait comes in. I got 4 or 5 of the colors, but this matte hot tiger is going to excel if that water is just a little bit dingier. It's silent, so it's all based on vibration. Super sharp hooks. I'm going to throw it on like a medium heavy, I think a trap rod actually, like 7.3 to a 7'10". I use an Alpha Angler Chatterbound, which I believe is 7.2 medium heavy. Something big parabolic action, something that can absorb the hook set and keep the fish pinned with treble hook baits. But the Nishini Simcoe 75 heavyweight, it's a very intriguing bait to me. I've been trying to fill that void of a deep blade bait. I've tried traps. I've caught some fish on traps, standard traps, but I want something that gets down there a little bit faster, something that's going to have really good bottom contact and really good vibration. And I know a few people that are using these already and having good success with them. So something that I am looking forward to exploring this spring once I get my boat out here, which will be in the next week or so before we head out for the Bassmaster Classic. The next one we were talking about recently on a show with the bait man, Kevin Baxter, and that is going to be the Strike King Gravel Dog. This one's in bone craw in the size 8. Got one in the package and one outside the package. Strike King packaging, feel like it's not really changed. They just kind of changed the colors around. First impressions of this bait is it looks like, I believe it has like a Series 5 bill on it with like the flat-sided crankbait, like a 2.5 body is what it resembles to me. The first thing I'm going to do with this bait before I ever throw it is change out the treble hooks. I'm not a fan of stock hooks. I apologize. If you're fishing ponds or not fishing for money or not guiding, the stock hooks will get the job done for a couple fish. But these look like they're going to be size 4s. So I'm probably going to put some Owner ST36s on it or Ichikawas. I can't remember the name of the hook. I'll research it and put it down in the description. But Ichikawa makes a really, really good crankbait hook that's super sharp. But first impressions, great paint schemes. I got a bunch of colors over at Omnia. But I really, really, really like this bone craw color. Something about orange tail, olive top, white, kind of mimics everything. Bait fish, can mimic like crappie, crawfish, obviously, because it is bone craw. And the orange hot tip gives it something to key on. The only thing I don't like about an orange tail, I'd rather have like a belly that's orange, is the fact that if you have a fish trailing it, they're more likely, in my opinion, to get the rear treble hook because that's the hot spot in the contrast area. But the eye of this bait is like a marbly blue black, and that could offset that bite. So I'm really curious to see how this thing hunts and fishes. All the reports and reviews I've read on the Gravel Dog says that they are an amazing little crankbait for the price point. Strike King puts out a lot of really good baits at a good price point for the average tournament fun and guide angler to go out and purchase and get a really high quality product. One thing with Strike King baits you will want to keep in mind, though, sometimes they do need a little bit of fine tuning out of the box to make sure they're running true and straight. So make sure you tune your baits up and get you some Gravel Dogs. The third one and the fourth one are going to be more forward-facing sonar baits. Oh, I forgot rods. I apologize. So skip back here. But the Gravel Dog, I'm going to throw it on crankbait rod, probably like a 7-foot rebound alpha angler. You can grab your favorite cranking rod, anything from 7 foot to 7'6" to throw this dude. 10 to 12 pound test will probably get it down to, let's see here. What does the 8 dive to? Does it say? It does not say, 8 foot. So 8 is 8 foot, 10 is 10 foot, I do believe. So probably 10 or 12 pound test to get it down to that depth range, and you'll probably get a lot of bites. All right, forward facing sonar, huge controversy. Everyone's loving fork, not liking fork, complaining about it, not complaining about it. Either you're for or you're against it. And I'm neither for or against it. I have it on my boat. I love it. So the next two baits are going to be forward-facing sonar Hardbaits. They're both going to be Berkeley baits. They're both brand new to the market, and this is the first time I've actually taken them out of the package. And the first one we're going to start with is the Berkeley Credge 100, which is jerk backwards, as we've all heard. And this color is Nebu, which kind of reminds me of Tennessee Shad, but way more metallic. I actually love this color. I think if they made it in a jerkbait, which I'm going to have to check and see if they do, I might need it. It's like a metallic Tennessee Shad, and Tennessee Shad is one of my absolute favorite stunner colors. So I'm really excited to do this one. So basically what the Credge is supposed to do, and I haven't tried this yet, but all the research when you jerk it, it'll actually fall backwards to the fish from my understanding. And that is exciting for me. So I've been looking for baits that will fall backwards on a slack line, and sometimes they fall like a rock. You can manipulate soft plastics with certain hooks, certain ways of rigging to make them backslide. So to get a hard bait like the Credge that is able to backslide to fish and make them react and bite, it's very intriguing to me. Now, where I'm excited to try this is out there in that same range that I want to throw the Nishini, right? In that 25 to 40 foot. I'm just curious how the Krej will work out there in those depths. Anyone here that's tuned in on YouTube or on the MP3, reach out on our social media page. I want to know if you've thrown the Krej yet. How does it look on forward facing? How do the fish react? Have you caught fish on it? Send us pictures over because I'm really, really curious. I haven't seen much on it besides like the press release. So I'm really excited to try this guy out. Berkeley, they make good products for what they are, and they're cost affordable for those who don't want to go out and looking for Japanese domestic market baits. You can buy them here. They're relatively easy to get after they sell out for the first couple of rounds when they release baits. But there's a reason why Berkeley sells so many baits. They work, most of them work, and they catch bass, and you cannot deny their overall fish catching power. So this one I'm going to throw on probably my jerkbait rod, 6'10", medium light, and I'm gonna have to play around with it and figure out how I like it. I'm gonna even go down to 8-pound tests to see how deep I can actually get this thing. It's a half ounce. It feels heavy in the hand as you're holding it. So I'm curious as to how deep we're gonna be able to get a bite on this. The fourth one is another Berkeley product. It's the Finisher 7. It's a half ounce, so it's heavy. It's 2 3/4 inches long. I'm wondering if I should have bought the one size up, which might be the 9. And this color that I'm bringing out is just the OG blue, so you know. Whoa, that is heavy. It's the OG blue, so it's a blue chromed out with an orange belly. Which, as I stated on the Gravel Dog, I would love pure orange bellies. It gives the fish something that they're looking at the entire platform. And fish, when they eat bait fish, they eat it by the face. So a modification that we could do is maybe put like a black dot on the side, on each side behind the gills, little gill ribs here to see if maybe that helps them get the front hook. Super sharp hooks coming on this half ounce. So this is going to sink like a rock and get down there really, really quick. This guy, I actually think I'm going to throw it on a spinning rod, like a 7-foot medium. My Alpha Angler wrench, I'm thinking, and I'm going to use this just like a jigging spoon or a blade and try to hop it in front of those smallmouth out there on Lake Erie. See if we can get some fish to bite it. This is the first time I'm taking it out of the package, and in the package, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. Now that I'm holding it in my hand, I actually think I like this. And to either increase or decrease the speed of the rate of fall, I'm thinking I'm going to increase it to slow it down to like a 10 or a 12-pound leader and maybe go down to an 8 to make it sink like a really fast rock. But I'm excited to try the Finisher. Like I said, my boat's coming out here the next week or so. Probably get out right after we get back from the Classic and start putting a lot of these hard baits to the test. And there's more than these 4 that I want to try and play around with this year, but these are the 4 that I think are the most important on my list that I'm going to get bid on, because I'm always trying to find different crankbaits to throw besides like OSPs and KVD 5XDs and 6XDs and Series 5. So that's where I think the Gravel Dog is going to play. So if you're tuned in at this point, we're 14 minutes in. We're going to wrap it up here. It's a quick episode this week. We have a really cool episode coming for you next week. Trevor Lowe is going to join us as of now, and we're going to talk some finesse stuff for you guys. Non-forward facing sonar, finesse fishing. We have a couple other episodes lined up. They just couldn't get them in this week due to traveling, etc., tournaments going on. So stay tuned here in the following weeks. We're going to try to get a couple episodes recorded before we head out for the Classic that is in Tulsa. So if you're there and you listen, you see Bailey and I walking around, come on over, say hi. I know we'll be at the X2 booth, the Blackfish booth, and all of our other sponsors that will be there, the Hobie Eyewear booth. So we will see you guys there. Everyone, we enjoy talking shop and fishing. If you're new here today listening on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, thumbs up if you like the stream. Let me know maybe what the 4 hard baits are, 3 hard baits are the year that you want to use. If you're listening and tuned in on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast platform, please leave us a review. We greatly appreciate it. And until next Saturday, we will see you then.